this adaptation of The Perfect Murder, it's the first stage adaptation I've had of any of my work. I was in raptures when I first saw the script, and when I watched the run-through, it was much funnier. I mean, it was a dark story. It's about, it's about a husband who's planning to murder his wife, who doesn't realise that his wife is planning to murder him. And I wrote it quite dark, with humour. I was in hysterics, and there's a scene in which a character is murdered, I won't say who, and wrapped up and packaged up, and I was just splitting my sides.
Well, maybe that says more about you than
my dark mind, you know. Watch that.
We get into the theatre next week. We get to Dartford, and that's where we start. Obviously, then with the set and everything, that it really comes to life.
Tell us about your character, Victor Smiley, because I think, from what I understand, he's not likeable.
Well, the thing is, you've got to an audience, make a character likeable, even though they're being horrific. Which is a tall order, but he's certainly Joan doesn't like him anymore. She's fed up with him. You know, all those little niggles in a marriage, like the fact that he hums the Dam Busters, remarkably. Strange coincidence. All those little things that get on, that they loved about each other, now niggle them, and they've got to the stage. 20 years in, Claire Goose plays my wife, and she's amazing. The whole cast are fantastic, and they just have that whole thing of wanting to kill each other.
And the humming thing, that would, I mean, it is annoying, humming, isn't it?
Humming is annoying. Yeah.
After a while, it's enough to make you want to, isn't it?
It's a great tune, but it can be quite sinister as well.
Yeah. But that's the whole point. I mean, you know, these little niggles, etc., you know, it's quite one thing to have them, but to take them, Peter, from your point of view, onto the whole nother level. How do you, as a writer, where's that coming from?
Well, I was asked if I was sat next to the Chief Constable at a dinner about 6 years ago, and Martin Richards in Sussex, and I said, do you think there's such a thing as a perfect murder? And he said, absolutely, it's the one we never hear about. And we have 600 homicides a year in the UK that are investigated. The police reckon there are another 600 at least that we never hear about. And how many of those, I started thinking, we were talking about this, and I said, how many of those do you think are husbands who've successfully murdered their wives and buried them under the kitchen floor, or wives who've successfully poisoned their husbands and told their friends, oh, Harry, he's run off to Sydney with his girlfriend? And the police reckon a lot. And that's what gave me the idea for the play. And I think it's those little things in a marriage that drive people absolutely nuts. It's the snoring, it's...
Victor's a snorer.
Bless Les, he's got a big heart, this guy. He's wonderful. Because I wrote this guy as a pig, totally arrogant, and I said to Les...
With me in mind.
I said, you're my dream cast for it.
What is it? What? But Les, he's a very jolly...
Lovely. Yeah, well...
sort of chap.
You wait till you see him in the play.
Did you have to dig deep?
You know, it's great to play when people expect you to be nice, and that's what my persona, I suppose, is, the Julie Andrews of comedy, the Mary Poppins of comedy. So, you know, to have to play somebody who does become quite horrifically scary is great. You know, it's nice. The flip side of the coin.